The Red and Green, MSU's student-run newspaper.
Magic City Hoagies, locally owned sandwich shop located in Southwest Minot.
Spicy Pie, pizza, grinders, beer.
The Minot Masonic Lodge, good men working to be better.
Taco John's, offering fresh tacos, burritos, nachos, and breakfast. Thrive-In Financial, connecting faith and finances.
PMQ Entertainment, performing at weddings, proms, and dances.
The Pursuit, creating a place in Minot where everyone is welcome.
Mouse River Players, community theater since 1971.
H-Bar B Construction, for all your oil field needs.
Good morning and welcome to the Saturday Showdown. I'm Lane Sarson. With me is head coach Mike Aldrich. Coach, it's a little bit earlier in the morning than what we've done so far this season, but should still be some fun today.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. I mean, this is, I think we've had 3 or 4 games in a row at 1 o'clock, so our schedule hasn't changed, but we're definitely glad to be back home.
Yeah, we are too. Last week was a little bit tough on the road. Faced a 35-7 deficit at the half. Unfortunately, we weren't able to come back from that, but how does your message change for your players once we kind of get stuck in that situation?
Well, I mean, University of Sioux Falls is a really good football team. You know, they're right up there with Minnesota Duluth as far as the best teams that we've seen. They're in the top 25 for a reason. So I mean, we kind of figured that if things didn't go perfectly, things weren't going to go great, and we knew that we wanted to be able to do all the little things right first, and if that could bode well for us, then we can put ourselves into the game. But we did do some things well. We didn't tackle as well as we want to. We gave a couple big plays early, which has a negative effect on your psyche. But our message still doesn't change. I mean, we're still looking for our perfect game, and we haven't accomplished that yet, but that's what we're still striving for.
All right, what are some of the stuff you've done this week to help prepare for that perfect game?
Well, it's just the biggest thing is just making sure we're paying attention to detail. You know, I mean, with every little thing that we do that may seem inconsequential, but you know, is vital to us to be successful. So whether it's standing on the sidelines and making sure you're behind the line, or you're running gassers and you got to touch the line, all those little things they turn around, and then when you're actually playing in the game, then you're going to have you're already ingrained to pay attention to detail. So you run the route correctly, or you run the defense call correctly, all those little things. So that's basically what we do, just hammer attention to detail.
Just try to screw all those bolts in here.
That's right.
Okay, so we've reached the halfway point of the season. Are there any big changes, or is everything pretty much set at this point?
Well, I mean, football is pretty fluid, you know, so you have to respond when you have injuries or you know, any other adversity that pops up, and then you have to be able to adjust, which is, you know, really what we've been doing all season. Not to mention then when you play, every team has a different style of offense, so you have to defensively adjust to what they're doing, and every defense is different. So it's for us, even though we're halfway through the season, it's not that there's any big changes. It's we just got to keep staying the course and keep doing those little things correct. How
much has it helped to really get almost like a full personnel back? Because at the beginning of the season we were a little short in a couple places, specifically running back.
Yeah, I mean, we're never going to be as deep as we want to be the rest of the season, but we're going to we just, as I said, I mean, I know it sounds cliche, but we keep staying the course, and we find guys to step in when we need them to step in and step up for us, and I think that's helping grow us together as well. You know, as we're all working together to try to keep going forward in the common goal goal. It can be tough when you're losing some football games. It's tough to keep your energy up and all those things, and we don't want to look for excuses. We just want to make sure that we just keep doing what we're supposed to do and know that the payoff is going to come. Might not be in the next 5 minutes, but it's going to happen as long as you just stay the course.
Yeah, and do you do anything different to help keep that energy up for the team?
Well, I don't know if we do anything differently necessarily. I mean, we'll change up practice quite a bit more for what's going to be best for us. But then if you kind of get into a long season, you feel like it's starting to get monotonous and everything's just kind of low key, then you gotta shock the system a little bit with some different stuff. And so we've done that, and we'll see how it pays off.
Well, hopefully it'll pay off well today, as it is the Hall of Fame weekend. It's the pink game, so we're going to have some of the players out there wearing some pink in support of breast cancer. What does that mean for you? What does it mean for the team?
Well, I think, the Hall of Fame piece of it, we've got a couple former football players going into the Athletic Hall of Fame today. We had a couple of them come and speak to the team last night, which was pretty special to see guys that had a lot of success here, the success they're having after they've played, and then for them to be able to impart a little wisdom on things they wish they would have done differently when they were playing, and the different types of focus and those type of things. So it's good to have that message come from more than just the coaches. It's good for them to be able to see it from others that have been in their shoes.
All right, and then about the pink game side of things and that breast cancer support, is there anybody on the team that this is really big for them? Well,
I think you probably be pretty hard pressed to ask anybody that's not touched by the effects of cancer one way or the other. So, October being the pink month and breast cancer awareness and all those type of things, the thing that we really talk about when it comes to breast cancer awareness and wearing pink in a game, we're not doing that to look different. We're doing that to truly be aware of the ill effects of breast cancer and to be able to be supportive of those that have gone through that or continue to go through that.
Thank you. We really, I know there's a lot of people out there that really appreciate that. And then looking at today's game, Peacocks, we talked about this a little bit earlier. They are also 1-4 at the moment. But when you look through their schedule, 3 of those 4 losses are by 4 points or less. What does that mean for you guys?
Well, they've been in a lot of close games. Like you said, 3 of their losses were pretty tight. Their 1 win was pretty tight. So they've been in very competitive ball games all the way through. For us, we've been in a couple, and then we've been on the wrong end of a couple big losses. So. At the end of the day, you have 2 teams that are fighting hard to try to get that second win, and someone's going to leave the stadium getting their second win finally, and we're both going to be working hard to do that. So hopefully it's us, but we'll see how it works out.
Yeah, we both really would like to see that be the Beavers here today. We talked a little bit about this before the show, how it's been fairly cold this whole week. In Upper Iowa, they've had it at a nice balmy 87 degrees. Maybe this might be one more thing to kind of help tip the scale for us.
Yeah, I mean, if you got kids from the Midwest, everybody's used to the cold, but this is unseasonably cold early. But we've been practicing this weather all week. I think it was a Tuesday and Wednesday we had some snow. So it's for us, it's all a mindset. Last year we had some cold practices, and our guys really did want to kind of shut down, and they didn't want to fight through it. This week was actually, I was very proud of how our guys stepped up, didn't let that be ill effect on them. I mean, yes, it's cold, but we could still get a lot of work done, and we know it's going to be chilly today. Yeah. So all we're doing is preparing to play in the weather that we're going to play in on Saturday.
And not to toot your horn too much here, Coach, but I think a lot of that attitude starts with you, and you've brought in a lot of that attitude for the team, and we really appreciate that as fans and as students here.
Well, thank you.
So, yeah, and thank you again so much, Coach, for being on the show with us. Again, that's head coach Mike Aldrich here. He's been doing some great things for our football squad. Make sure to get out there to the game. Kickoff is at 1. When we come back, though, we'll be having a familiar face for those of you who have watched the Saturday Showdown before. Don't miss anything.
All-American Trophies for all your screen printing and embroidery needs.
ArtMain, offering custom frames, art supplies, and jewelry.
Buffalo Wings and Rings, a sports restaurant experience located in South Minot.
Badlands Bar and Grill, located on 31st Avenue in Minot. Fiance, with all your prom and bridal needs, located in downtown Minot.
KCJB 910 AM, Minot's news and information station.
Buffalo Wild Wings, wings, beer, sports.
KIZZ FM Z94, playing today's hit music.
Mix 99.9, Minot's music mix.
Happy Joe's Pizza and Ice Cream, serving the Midwest since 1972.
KRRZ 1390 AM, Minot's classic hits.
KZPR 105.3 FM, Minot's rock station.
Jacobson Music, bringing music to the Northern Plains since 1980.
KYYX, Kicks 97.1, bringing Minot country since 1977.
MSU Beavers Hockey, online info at msubeavers.com.
Qdoba, easy, on time, full of flavor.
MSU Theater Department, year-round entertainment.
Forward Communication, connecting professionals in the Midwest.
MSU Bookstore, for all your campus needs.
The Red and Green, MSU's student-run newspaper.
Magic City Hoagies, locally owned sandwich shop located in Southwest Minot.
Spicy Pie, pizza, grinders, beer. The Minot Masonic Lodge, good men working to be better. Taco John's, offering fresh tacos, burritos, nachos, and breakfast. Thrive-In Financial, connecting faith and finances.
PMQ Entertainment, performing at weddings, proms, and dances.
The Pursuit, creating a place in Minot where everyone is welcome.
Mouse River Players, community theater since 1971.
H-Bar-B Construction, for all your oil field needs.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Saturday Showdown. I'm Taylor Rosari, and I'm sitting here with, like Lane said, a familiar face to the Saturday Showdown set, Leif Bakken. How are you today, Leif?
I'm doing all right.
That's good. So we're going to sit down and talk about, you're a broadcasting alum, like we've said. What do you think your biggest takeaway is from being in this department and now after you've graduated? What is your biggest takeaway from this?
The biggest thing is that I got all the real world experience here. So I got to have a radio show, I got to do a TV show, a couple of TV shows, I got to do all these things, interview people, and that real world experience gets you what you need later on. And now I'm in radio mostly. Now I do a noon TV show every once in a while. And so I know what I'm doing. I'm able to sit and talk to people. I'm able to do those things and interact. And one of the other things about being here and being an alum, you learn how to interact with people and build your base and who's going to be with you, and you build up on that, and that's important because it's about who you know, especially in broadcasting and in this industry. It's about who you know, and it is about what you know as well. So you got to put those together, and I just got all that experience here, and it was great.
So that real world experience, I know that you've broadcasted like 300 games for the MSU athletic department. What was it like getting all of those games under your belt and using that as fuel to push yourself ahead in the professional world?
You know, that was probably one of the best experiences, is to do all those games. And by doing all those games and having a passion and love for sports, as you know, as a former athlete as well, that it just gets you excited, and you learn how to work with teams, and you learn all these things, and that's the big thing too. As an athlete and as a group of people, especially like broadcasting, you work as a team, and you have to know how to do that, especially to get things done and to get everything you need in broadcasting.
So I know that now you're not on the sports side of the broadcasting field, you're more in the agriculture side.
Right.
So how is it adjusting to that after doing so many sports for so many years?
Well, you know, it was kind of a breath of fresh air in a sense. Not that I still love sports and want to do that, but I needed something different. When you do 327 games for a college, it takes a lot of, it's just refreshing to do something else again. And so doing that, and I come from an agriculture background, so it's kind of fun and getting to see all the different parts that my dad has to listen to growing up and my grandpa, and now I get to do that, and I get to be the voice that they get to hear and tell them this is what we're doing and this is what cows and crops are going to look like and what's going to happen. And one thing that I learned, I'm glad I learned it now compared to having to learn it in a couple of years, is I started in agriculture, and now I know that I can't run away from it. And I kind of wanted to, because I don't really want to farm and ranch, but I'm doing something to provide for agriculture now.
So you're originally from South Dakota. How is it living in Montana now, being kind of somewhat far away from your family? How is it adjusting to that?
Well, it's been good. I have some family out in Montana that I stayed with when I first got out there, and now it's kind of funny that you say that, because it's a lot like North and South Dakota. I live in Billings, so the joke I made when I started working out there is I can see the mountains, but I don't have to be in them, so everything's fine because I'm a flatlander. So that's good. But I'm 5 hours from home, so I can go home if I need to. It's not too bad, and I have family in town, so I don't have to go to the laundromat, and they'll let me wash my clothes there and cook a nice warm meal for me once a week, and so it's been good. And I'd say the hardest part, though, is adjusting and finding people who are working young adults as well, because I don't have a whole lot of friends out there yet, but I'm working on that. So.
Well, that's really great to hear. So after all of this experience you've had in such different areas of broadcasting, why do you think maybe kids that don't know what major they want to pursue, why should they pursue a broadcasting degree?
I think if you have a message, or you understand that people have a message that needs to be put out there, then that's what you got to do. If you have a passion for letting people know what the news is and the weather is and what the sports are and how sports are doing and how one person made an impact, and there's so many different messages. If you want people to know the cost of corn, then this is what you need to do. If you like to write and you have a passion for writing, and journalism and broadcasting is where it's at, because you get to express those passions, and as everybody in here knows, that it's just really precious, I think, to be able to be the person that people rely on. And if you are somebody that people rely on and you have a message, you got to be a broadcaster.
Well, we're really glad we got you to come back today. You were a huge influence, I know, on me and a few others in the broadcasting department. So thank you so much for joining me again today,
Absolutely.
Lee. After Underwriters, this break, we will be looking at what Lane has in store for the rest of the Saturday Showdown.
All-American Trophies for all your screen printing and embroidery needs.
ArtMade, offering custom frames, art supplies, and jewelry.
Buffalo Wings and Rings, a sports restaurant experience located in South Minot.
Badlands Bar and Grill, located on 31st Avenue in Minot. Fiance, with all your prom and bridal needs, located in downtown Minot.
KCJB 910 AM, Minot's news and information station.
Buffalo Wild Wings, wings, beer, sports.
KIZZ FM Z94, playing today's hit music.
Fix 99.9, Minot's music mix.
Happy Joe's Pizza and Ice Cream, serving the Midwest since 1972.
KRRZ, 1390 AM, Minot's classic hits.
KZPR 105.3 FM, Minot's rock station.
Jacobson Music, bringing music to the Northern Plains since 1980.
KYYX Kicks 97.1, bringing Minot Country since 1977.
MSU Beavers Hockey. Online info at msubeavers.com.
Qdoba, easy, on time, full of flavor.
MSU Theater Department, year-round entertainment.
Forward Communication, connecting professionals in the Midwest.
MSU Bookstore, for all your campus needs.
The Red and Green, MSU's student-run newspaper.
Magic City Hoagies, locally owned sandwich shop located in Southwest Minot.
Spicy Pie, pizza, grinders, beer. The Minot Masonic Lodge, good men working to be better. Taco John's, offering fresh tacos, burritos, nachos, and breakfast. Thrive-In Financial, connecting faith and finances.
PMQ Entertainment, performing at weddings, proms, and dances.
The Pursuit, creating a place in Minot where everyone is welcome.
Mouse River Players, community theater since 1971.
H-Bar-B Construction, for all your oil field needs.
Welcome back to the Saturday Showdown. I'm Lane Sarston. We're going to take a quick look around the league here for you folks. We've got a couple other games to take a look at involving Minnesota Duluth and then Minnesota Mankato. Both of these teams are undefeated right now, being 5-0 on the season going into today. Duluth, though, they need to watch out a little bit as they're going to be playing Augustana. They're 3-2, so when you just look at their record alone, it doesn't look like they're too big of a threat. But then when you start scrolling through their scores there, they almost managed to take one off of Mankato, the other team we'll be talking about here in this segment, in a 38-36 point loss. So the Augustana is a very real threat offensively. If they can screw down a little bit on the defense, tighten up some bolts there, they'll be all right. And they might be able to walk away with one against Duluth. Looking at Mankato, today they're going to be playing MSU Moorhead. MSU Moorhead is 4-1 on the season. Both of these teams can put up a lot of points very quickly. I'm expecting a little bit of a shootout for this game today, folks. So it'll be very exciting to watch. I hope that everyone tunes in, but of course the most important game of the day is going to be right here on Herb Parker Field. We're going to have kickoff at 1 o'clock today, folks, as we're going to be seeing the Beavers play the Peacocks. It's going to be a little cold today, as we talked about earlier with Coach. It'll be 37 degrees and cloudy, 78% humidity, but no rain, so that means we're going to be feeling every little bit of that cold, and unfortunately for Upper Iowa, they're going to be having a tough time. Leaf, last time you were here for a game, we were up in the box actually. We didn't have to deal with that type of weather. What do you think that's going to be like for them?
Well, you know, I was talking to Taylor and talked about how nice it was down in Iowa, and then they have to come up here. I think weather really does play a big factor in football, and you know, what they used to say, at least for the wrestlers, was only the tough come north, and I think that's very true, and we'll have to see what happens. But Upper Iowa, again, with a similar record and with some tight games, so still going to be a tough one. But if the Beavers can show that they've got that resilience against the weather, it's going to be good. Yeah,
and one of the things that Coach Aldrich does is he doesn't let them use those heating pads. We've talked about this, I feel like before. I think we talked about this last season we did the show on how Coach just tries to make them tough it out, and that's a lot of respect, I think, for Coach.
And I think that sometimes that can be good and bad, I think, and I'm not going to say that Coach is Coach and he's going to do what he's got to do. So, but I think that yeah, if you can get those guys to tough it out and and if they can stay warm on their own power, it'll be good.
Alrighty, Leaf. So we're getting to the end of the show here. It's a little sad.
Is it?
I miss you, dude.
Do you?
It's nice to have you back up here. But so do you have anything you want to say to any of the athletes out there? I know quite a few of them know you.
Oh yeah. Well, I just want to say thanks for having me for the last couple of years, and I'm glad to be back. I'll hopefully see you at the game. But yeah, I've been meaning to get in touch with a lot of you guys, and I appreciate everything from everybody, broadcasting and the athletes and the coaches. So just thank you for that, and yeah, it's been fun, and hopefully I see you guys down the road.
Yeah, no, oh man, you can't do that one to me. That's for those of you, if you've listened to his play-by-play, that's his sign-off there. And, it's a gut punch, but. All right, so I'm Lane Sarston, Saturday Showdown host. This is Leaf Bakken, former Saturday Showdown host. Let's enjoy some football today, folks.